we are so happy to have all of you here. A very warm welcome to all of you on behalf of Crop Bank. I think உங்களுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி தெரியும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். நாங்கள் எங்கள் 50th இயரோட ஆனிவர்சரி செலிப்ரேட் பண்ணுறோம். பட் without much further ado, I would like to invite our Assistant Director, Mr. Shafiq Ahmed, to formally welcome all of you. Right? Thank you.
A special welcome to our trustees, Ram, Zai, Nick, Ashish, and Ganesh. A special welcome to Alvin, our former director and long-standing associate of Rock Bank. Welcome. And a special welcome to all our friends from press and media. In 1976, Ram and Zai started the Croc Bank when India's crocodilians were under pressure from hunting and habitat loss. What began as a crocodile conservation has evolved to a center of herpetology, working across reptile conservation, research, captive breeding, and education. Today, Croc Bank welcomes almost 500,000 visitors every year and provide them a unique platform to connect with reptiles. Reptile conservation and husbandry remain an important part of the work. Apart from that, we have field stations. For example, our Gharial Ecology project in Chambal is helping us better understand the ecology and conservation of this critically endangered species. Through Agumbe Rainforest Research Station, we work on king cobra research, rainforest ecology, biodiversity, and human-snake conflict. Our Anakare project is another example of a commitment in reptile habitat conservation in studying mugger crocodile population in Kolidam River. A special thanks to the Tamil Nadu Forest Department for its continued cooperation and support. We also extend our sincere thanks to the Central Zoo Authority to its continuous guidance and support in maintaining standards of animal welfare. Our sincere gratitude to our CSR partners, donors, well-wishers, animal adopters who have supported us over the years. And thank you to our staff, team, and animal keepers, veterinarians, researchers, educators, field teams, administration, maintenance, security, and operations. Today is also special because Mr. Ganesh Muthaya is beginning a 15,000-kilometer journey across India as a part of Save the Reptiles campaign. It reminds us that conservation cannot remain within the walls of institution. It has to reach landscapes, communities, and people. The next 50 years will bring new challenges, and we need to build on the knowledge and expertise in the last 5 decades while adapting to the challenges ahead. Thank you all for being a part of Croc Bank's journey. Here's to 50 years of NCBT and 50 years of conservation. Thank you.
It has been so fulfilling and so exciting that I could talk about it for a long time. But you have other things to do. So I decided to limit myself to a count of 3. 3 memories, 3 researchers who have become national and international legends in conservation, and also 3 of my personal aspirations for the Croc Bank for the next 50 years. In the early 1970s, we were collecting wild mugger eggs in habitats like Satanur and Metu Reservoir to bring back and incubate. We knew that there was 100% predation on these eggs and hatchlings by both humans as well as animals like jackals and mongooses, so the hatchlings had practically no chance of survival. On the other hand, at the snake park initially and then at the Crocodile Bank, we managed to have an 80% hatching rate and hatching survival. At that time, crocodile egg collection and hatching was a very nascent field in India. In fact, we were the first ones to do it. So we had to look elsewhere in other countries for expertise and skills and advice. 2 of our main mentors were Ted Joannan from the United States and Tony Pooley, the great crocman of South Africa. Those eggs that we collected have now turned into some of the big crocodiles we see in Pen 8 at the Crocodile Bank. And also the crocodiles that tourists see in some states such as Orissa, Karnataka, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, and where we gave them to the State Forest Department for rewilding. At that point, we, with our team from the Crocodile Bank, would travel to places like Amravati and Satanur, as I said, and also Kedarhala stream and other rivers. Kedarhala is, of course, on the Bhavani River. And we were often shoulder to shoulder with animals like elephants. And it was a very special thing to be sleeping on rocks on a river with big crocodiles in there and waking up to see fresh elephant tracks right near the rocks we were sleeping in. So our transport on the reservoirs were coracles, the boats which in those days were made with a bamboo frame and buffalo hides. Now, of course, they're all fiberglass, but it was a very special thing to be traveling for hours, sometimes across the night in these traditional boats. Once in one of those fragile boats, we were crossing a stretch of the Satanur reservoir with a box of carefully collected eggs when a sudden storm broke with pouring rain and rushing wind and crashing thunder. The egg crate was near my feet on the floor of the boat, balanced on pieces of wood so that the eggs wouldn't wobble and get spoiled. And I was holding on to the box with my knees and arms and any other way I could manage. But the storm grew, and suddenly, as the wind surged, the boat began to rock, and I almost flipped overboard. But the shouts from the other people were not like, be careful for yourself. It was like, hold on to the eggs, hold on to the eggs. So it was a clear indication of the priorities of the Croc Bank team. We managed to get to the shore and then put the coracle over ourselves as an umbrella. A year later, I was in the Andaman Islands looking for saltwater croc eggs for us as well as for the Orissa State Forest Department. And I had another memorable boat incident in a single oar dongi. Again, a storm, and we were spinning like a top, and the oar broke. And we were in serious saltwater crocodile country. We had seen footprints of like 16, 18 foot salties. So it wasn't a very happy moment, but as you can see, we managed to get back alive. And a much pleasanter memory was a few nights after Ram and I moved to live in our house adjoining the Crocodile Bank, we were able to watch the first egg laying in the bank. And because she was laying near the wall, we could watch and film the whole process. And then when we went home, we thought, let's go and sit on the beach for a bit. And there was an olive ridley sea turtle laying her eggs on the beach, and we were able to watch that whole process. So both these things always to us over the next years seemed like two very good omens for us at the Croc Bank. Croc Bank legends, we were very lucky to have 3 people working with us, 3 researchers in our foundational years, who, as I said, have become legends in conservation. There was J. Vijaya for freshwater turtles, D. Basu for gharial, and Satish Bhaskar for sea turtles. Vijaya rediscovered the cane turtle, which was thought to be extinct, in the Nadukani forest of Kerala. She photographed and campaigned against sea turtle and freshwater turtle markets in mostly in Bengal. Lakhs of turtles were being slaughtered. And she also started the breeding of Travancore tortoises at the Croc Bank. Sadly and tragically, she passed away in 1987, but her legacy and work lives on, and she is often quoted on turtle and tortoise papers all over the world. Basu conducted the first Gharial surveys, including on the Chambal, which was later to become a tri-state national Gharial sanctuary. We told him when he was going there that there's hardly any money for the survey, and that he would also be running into dacoits, because those were the dacoit years on the Chambal. And he said, "Oh, great, sounds good." And he went off, and he actually had a very amusing encounter with the dacoit Poolan Devi. And he was the first one to create the conservation science around the rearing and husbandry of Gharial. Basu passed away in a tragic accident in 2011, but again, like Vijaya, he has left behind a wealth of skills and information and experience. Satish Bhaskar, about whom a film was recently made called Turtle Walker, he walked thousands of miles of our coastline, mapping the sea turtle nesting beaches in the country. He discovered the leatherback populations in the Andamans. He mapped all the nesting beaches on our coastlines and many islands. And he initiated the first conservation measures along with ROM and others for our sea turtles. His death in 2023 was a great loss to Indian conservation, as were those of Vijay and Basu. They were three stalwarts who we are very proud to have worked with, and may the three of them always rest in peace. My three aspirations for the next 50 years is that the first one is that seeing that many of India's top biologists and conservationists today were graduates, so to speak, of the Crocodile Bank. They were volunteers and interns at the Crocodile Bank. And many of them speak about the inspiration they got here. And that was the start of their journey. That we should keep strengthening and expanding our volunteer program so that we can continue to build the next level of conservationists in the country. Secondly, that we continue to grow as a biobank for reptiles. And thirdly, and for me personally, probably most importantly, that it should always remain a fun, creative, and productive place for everyone to work in. Thank you.
Great time, actually, a very momentous period. And I cannot believe that 50 years have passed. I've seen many people here who've gone on to do so much, many people here who have done so much. The amount of, as a research director and someone who helps with the husbandry and management here, as compared to when we started, given the difficulties, given the staff shortages, given the fund crunches, I cannot see a better team of trustees and workers who have done a better job in a conservation and captive breeding and research organization. So hats off to all of us. Thanks. This is the place where I learned my craft. Like so many people here, this is not just another job. It's a place where this can be a launch pad where we can blast off our career. This is a place which gave us purpose. And the heart of this purpose, there are two important souls, Zai and Ram Whitaker. Zai has been a compass for me. She's taught me not just herpetology, but also patience, persistence, and the art of listening to nature quietly. A lot of what I am today belongs to her as well.
Very kind of you to say that.
Thank you, Zai. So it is my honor and privilege to announce the Zai and Ram Whitaker Conservation Herpetological Award, which will be given once in 2 years to someone who shares their fire. So the announcement for this award will follow in a couple of months about how to apply for nominations. But I can't wait to see who will walk through that door next. Thank you, Zai. Thank you, Ram. And thank you, Croc Bank, for giving us the award.
இங்கு வருகை தந்து இருக்கும் அத்தனை பேருக்கும், குறிப்பாக ஊடக நண்பர்களுக்கு மெட்ராஸ் கிராக்கடைல் பேங்க் சார்பாக மீண்டும் ஒரு முறை வருக வருக என வரவேற்கிறோம். இன்று 28 ஆகஸ்ட் 2026 மெட்ராஸ் கிராக்கடைல் பேங்க் தனது 50வது வருஷத்துக்குள்ள அடியெடுத்து வைக்கிற ரொம்ப முக்கியமான தருணம். இது ஒரு மைல் ஸ்டோன்னே சொல்லலாம். பின்னோக்கி பார்க்கும்போது கிட்டத்தட்ட 49 வருஷ கடின உழைப்பு, ரெப்டைல் கன்சர்வேஷன் அண்ட் கோ எக்ஸிஸ்டன்ஸ், இதையே ஒரு கொள்கையா எடுத்துக்கிட்டு எங்களோட ஃபவுண்டர்ஸ் பத்மஸ்ரீ ராமலஸ் விட்டேக்கர் அண்ட் ஜாய் விட்டேக்கர் அவங்க கடந்து வந்த பாதையை நாங்க பார்த்தோம்னா பிரமிப்பா இருக்கு. எங்களால அவங்களுக்கு நன்றிகள் மட்டும்தான் சொல்ல முடியும். இந்த தருணத்துல இது 50வது வருஷத்துக்குள்ள நாங்க நுழையிறதுனால நன்றிகளோட சேர்த்து வாழ்த்துக்களையும் சொல்றது எங்களோட கடமையாகிறது. இந்த வாழ்த்துக்களோட முக்கியமான 3 அறிவிப்புகளை நாங்க வெளியிட இருக்கிறோம். உங்க மூலியமா இது மக்களிடத்துல போய் சேர வேண்டிய முக்கியமான விஷயமா இருக்கு. இன்று தொடங்கி அடுத்த ஒரு வருஷத்துக்கு, அதாவது ஆகஸ்ட் 2026 முதல் ஆகஸ்ட் 2027 வரை நம்ம முதல பண்ணையில, அதாவது மெட்ராஸ் கிராக்கடைல் பேங்க்ல மாதந்தோறும் வாரந்தோறும் ரெப்டைல் கன்சர்வேஷனை மையப்படுத்தி எஜுகேஷனல் ஆக்டிவிட்டிஸ் தினந்தோறும் அரங்கேற்றம் பண்றதுக்கு தயாரா நாங்க இருக்கிறோம். இந்த விஷயத்த மக்களுக்கு எப்படி எடுத்துட்டு போறது என்ற ஒரே விஷயம் காரணமா மாதந்தோறும் 2வது புதன்கிழமை, அதாவது செகண்ட் வென்ஸ்டே ஆஃப் எவ்ரி மந்த், பெரியவர்கள் முதல் சிறியவர்கள் வரை முதலை பண்ணைக்கு வரக்கூடிய அனைத்து பேருக்கும் அனுமதி இலவசம். இங்க வந்து எங்களோட எங்க கன்சர்வேஷன் ப்ரோக்ராம் எப்படி இருக்கு, நம்ம என்ன செய்யறோம், அதை தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்கு இது ஒரு முக்கியமான வாய்ப்பா கருதுறோம். இது எங்களுடைய முதல் அறிவிப்பு. 2வது, பள்ளி கல்லூரிகள் மூலமா வரக்கூடிய மாணவர்களுக்கு 365 நாளும் கட்டண சலுகைகள் இந்த நேரத்துல நாங்க அறிவிக்கிறோம். 3வது முக்கியமானதும் கூட, இந்தியாவிலேயே முதல் முறையா ரெப்டைல் கன்சர்வேஷனை மையப்படுத்தி நாடு தழுவிய ஒரு விழிப்புணர்வு பிரச்சாரம் மெட்ராஸ் கிராக்கடைல் பேங்க் மற்றும் ரெப்டைல் கன்சர்வன்சி அலையான்ஸ் நிறுவனமும் இணைந்து சேவ் த ரெப்டைல்ஸ் என்ற பெயரில் சுமார் 15,000 கிலோமீட்டர் 22 மாநிலங்கள் வழியாக சுமார் 120 நாட்கள் இன்று தொடங்கி டிசம்பர் 20 வரை பயணப்பட இருக்கிறோம். இந்த தருணத்துல இன்னும் சிறிது நேரத்துல உங்க முன்னாடி இந்த பயணத்தை தொடங்க நாங்க காத்துட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இந்த பயணத்தின் போது பள்ளி மற்றும் கல்லூரி மாணவர்கள், மாநில வனத்துறை அலுவலர்கள், வன உயிரின ஆர்வலர்கள் மற்றும் பல்வேறு தரப்பட்ட மக்களை சந்தித்து ஊர்வன விலங்குகளை பாதுகாப்பதின் அவசியத்தை வலியுறுத்த இருக்கிறோம். இந்த பயணம் வெற்றி பெற ஊடக நண்பர்களாகிய உங்களின் நல்ல ஆதரவை வேண்டி கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறோம். நன்றி.
And also a special thanks again from me to all the trustees we have had over the last 50 years. And Ashish is here. Actually, his father, Raj Gupta, was also a trustee of the Croc Bank and helped us in many, many ways. And now Ashish is doing the same. And I have some advice for Ganesh. Is he still here? Ganesh, I have 3 pieces of advice for you for this journey. Drive slow and safe. No accidents. And shout out the name of the Croc Bank and the RAC loudly all along the way. And again, thank you very much for doing this. I just, in the beginning when you said, I want to do this, I thought, what a crazy idea. And, hopefully he'll forget about it in a few days. But you didn't, and you're doing it. And it's just the kind of, adventurous thing the Croc Bank likes to do. So it really fits right in with who we are. And thank you very much. By the way, Ganesh was one of our volunteers at the Croc Bank. In which year? 2009. Okay. Thank you.